Dear delegates, welcome on board for the orientation program, Certified Corporate Finance Analyst, CCFA. And on behalf of World Academy, we are all welcoming you for this orientation program. This is Rupak Zaya. I'm working with World Academy as a Vice President. I'm looking after the entire global operation. I'll be talking around 10-15 minutes altogether. And then I'll hand over to our resource person, and he will be discussing about the insights of this program, how this program is beneficial, how this program will be helpful for you. So, and what will be the learning points for our delegates. So, these will be discussed by our resource person. So, let me share my screen. And altogether, it may take around 30 to 40 minutes time, plus minus. So, welcome once again to World Academy. World Academy is one of the largest professional certification institute in the world, based in United Kingdom. Our motto is shaping expertise, nurturing ambitions, and elevate your potential. So we are always beside the professionals for developing their competencies to accelerate their global career. We are an ISO certified organization. We have a couple of ISO certification: 17,024, 41,180, 21,001, 30,414. So these are different, areas where World Academy got the ISO certification. We have a very prestigious global landscape, presence in 65 plus countries, 200 plus programs from academic to certified, 30,000 professionals. The alumni size is more than 30,000 and the number is counting on every day. 130 instructors from 14 countries, 30 plus alumni hold C-suite roles in major organizations, 95% course completion rate at first attempt. So we are very much focused on the professional development. That is the reason for which professionals are accepting World Academy, expecting World Academy's program. We are one of the largest professional certification institute based in United Kingdom. We are globally accepted credentials, affordable fees. And one thing I can guarantee you, you can compare anywhere in the world that the pricing, what we are offering, and the quality we are assuring, you will find second in comparison with this. You won't find second. Flexible payment plan, though it is affordable, still we are trying to make it more affordable on a monthly basis. So we are offering a flexible payment plan, wide range of programs, wherever you are working, supply chain, HR, finance. So we do have every professional areas programs, 150 certified plus programs, 30 plus master's level programs, 40 plus diploma programs. We do have a user-friendly learning management system for easy learning. And we also issue badges, digital badges to Credly, concern of Pearson Education Group. That is our global affiliation. We are accredited institute by NQL, which is an off-QL regulated awarding body in United Kingdom. Member of American Accreditation Association, approved center by Cambridge Academy of Professionals UK, and approved center by ProfQual UK, approved center by Board of HR Certification UK, approved provider of HRCI, SHRM, ATD US, SHRM Academically Aligned Institute. These are all HR related certification bodies. Accredited institute by International Professional Accreditation Council, which is Singapore based organization. We are the member for CPD certification group, partner of CPD Singapore Training and Development Association, and we do have two partner organizations, KPA Specialist and English Academy. The program we are going to launch, that is Certified Corporate Finance Analyst. It's validated by Cambridge Academy of Professionals. Cambridge Academy is one of the very largest and prestigious professional institute based in United Kingdom. There is the digital badge you will be receiving after successful completion of the program issued by Credly, a Pearson sister concern. And there is a sample certificate and the transcript. So you will also receive a transcript where the credit point will be mentioned, the module name will be mentioned, and also the competencies will be mentioned. The success story, 5 batches completed. This is the 6th batch we are going to start. 198 professionals have already completed CCFA from 23 countries. So these are different organizations where our alumni works. So you can see different global organizations, NGOs, banks, group of companies. So different, I mean, organizations, industries. The people who are working over there, they are our alumni. What are the features? 4 months duration, live online class. Class will be on Sunday, every Sunday, 2 to 4 p.m. GMT. You can take the exam on online. Class recording we will share. Free books and materials you will receive. Live interaction of opportunity through learning management system and live chat support. Why World Academy's program, CCFA program? 9 practical focused modules. Each module will focus on 3 competencies. That means 27 competencies. Each module has 3 learning objectives. That is 27 learning objectives will cover. Each module will have 10 guided questions. So you will receive the answer of these guided questions at the end of the program so that you will get 90 guided questions answer at the end of the program for your ready reference. So these all are practical focused questions. 9 case studies. For each module, 1 case study you need to do. So every case will make sure that you can transfer your learning, and 8 group activities during the session. As there are 8 classes, so in 8 class, there will be different practices or exercises, group activities, so that you can transfer different ways. The skill set can be transferred in different ways. So in our learning portfolio, CCFA learning portfolio, you will find all these things. And the class management total 9 modules, 8 session, 1 session 2 hours. Each week on Sunday, 2 hour session only. There will be review and question answer part. Class recording will get shared. Class material will be shared within 1 to 2 days time through the learning management system. And make sure your attendance will be recorded. So during the session, please rename yourself, not the mobile device name. Use your full name. These are the modules, 9 modules. Our resource person will talk on these modules one by one. So I'm not focusing on this part. The assessment part, there are 2 ways actually. There are assignment and exams. So for exam, there are 2 parts. One is case-based quiz. That means for every module, you will have a case. You need to analyze this case, and considering the case, you need to answer quiz, multiple choice question, okay, based on the case study. So you will have, every module will have this case study, and combining this, you need to qualify 70%, getting the 70% marks. But there is option that unlimited time you can attend the quizzes, multiple times allowed. And the final exam, there is also multiple choice question based, 50 questions, 100 marks. You need to earn 70% marks to qualify this final exam. And there is a separate part. So you need to qualify In the case-based quiz, also you need to qualify in the final exam as well. But for final exam, you will get one chance extra without any further fees. For the third onwards attempt, you need to pay fees of $15. For the assignment part, there are three types. One is pre-course assignment. It is not related with the assessment. It is only learning purposes, pre-course assignment. Then three in-course assignments. So what is in-course assignment? During the period after, say after two modules, you will get one assignment. So you need to submit it within a week, and the assignment marks is 100. You need to qualify. You need to get 70% marks for this in-course assignments together to qualify. And then the capstone project, that is the final part, final assignment or capstone project. It contains 300 marks. You will get 3 to 4 weeks time to complete this capstone project, and you need to qualify capstone project separately as well. So altogether, the assessment framework looks like: for pre-course, there is no marks. Case-based quiz, each quiz 20 marks. So total 9 quizzes. In-course assignment, 100 marks per assignment, total 3, so 300. Final assignment or capstone, that is also 300. And final exam, MCQ type, that is also 100. The session. Then the certification part, electronic certificate and digital badge you will receive within 7 to 10 working days. And the printed certificate will be distributed 4 times in a year. So say, for example, if your course is completed on, say, this is July, August, September, October, maybe November. So the next available slot may be in January. So you need to wait for 2 months to get this certificate. So we are usually sending 4 times in a year. Whatever the slots available after your result publication, you will receive through that slot. That is the printed certificate issues. So 4 phases: pre-course assignment, class activities, assignment part, and certification part. So that's about the course administration procedure. And I will be handing over to our resource person for discussing about the course insights. What are the learning points for this course? Sir, please.
Okay, thank you, Rupak. Let me share my screen here.
Sure.
Hi, good evening to all of you. I hope you can hear me. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
All right,
Yes, sir,
great,
we can
great.
hear you.
All right, good evening. Yeah, my name
Yes,
is.
sir. Yes.
All right, great.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, I'll move on. What you're doing is I'm just going to give you an explanation of the Certified Corporate Finance Analyst program. My background is a bit dark, but if you're not able to see me, it doesn't matter. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask at the end of the session here. So I've run through very quickly what is presented in the modules. So this is a quick training profile of myself. I've been working for many years, more than 20 years, okay, in many organizations, including multinationals. Okay, my focus areas have been supply chain, finance, accounting, project management, change, and service management. Worked in companies like KPMG, Philip Morris, HP Singapore, Reuters Singapore. Okay, that's a quick profile of myself. Now, in terms of this program, yeah, we will provide you an in-depth exploration of the key concepts and tools in corporate finance. Yeah, we will introduce the financial statements, because for you to be able to do the role or play the role of the corporate finance, you need to understand financial statements. So this will cover, of course, the balance sheet, the income statement, the cash flow statement, which are the key financial statements. So you will learn how to use the information that is contained in these financial statements so that you're able to assess the company's financial performance in market. Okay, so basically the acquisition of these skills, yeah, in terms of what you get out of it, is you basically enable individuals like you to basically better equip yourself in the company's financials so that you can assist in the decision making process. Okay, so you have an advantage here and contribute positively to the organization goals. Yeah. If you look at corporate finance, yeah, basically corporate finance concentrates on the financial essentials, okay, needed to run a business, yeah, including fundraising, internal cash management, and the deployment of funds to dividends, capital expenditure investments, and acquisition, okay. So it addresses the core issues in how to develop an appropriate capital structure and determine the best types of available funding, yeah. Financing decisions are fundamentally corporate.
Sir, do you have any presentation to show?
Can you see my screen as I'm moving?
No, no, no. We didn't see.
Oh, really? Because my lights are out. So let me restart this again. Yeah. Uh, Hold on. Yeah, please. Let me share this again.
Yes, I think now it will be working. Yes, you can open now.
Okay, I opened it. Just hold on. Yeah. Can you see the screen now?
No, sir. Your folder is shown. So what can you do? You can close this. Once you open the file, the PPT file, then you can share the file, not the folder.
Okay. I thought I'm sharing the. Hold on. Yeah. Are you able to see the file now?
No, you
Yes.
need to close the sharing plug first. The folder is being shared right now. You can
Oh,
see
oh,
the folder.
okay. Let me close that. Yeah.
Close it first.
Hold on, please. Yeah.
Yes, close the sharing so that, yes, now open the PowerPoint, then share the PowerPoint directly.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that now. Let me. Are you able to see the screen now?
No, sir.
Still no. I thought
What can you do? Can you send me through WhatsApp or email now so that I can open it here?
okay, I will do that. Yeah, but sorry about this one. Normally it doesn't happen. Uh,
Or if I share with the objective of each module and then also the competencies, will that be okay?
it should be all right. Let me try one more time. Yeah. Let me try just one more time. Share. Sorry, guys. Just give me a minute.
Hi.
Are you able to see the screen now?
It is
Yes,
working.
sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Now it is. Now it is.
Oh, okay, great, great. Thank you. Let me move on to the slideshow and come from the beginning. So basically what I've covered is I've talked about my profile. So I'll skip that very quickly. I will look at what is the cost overview. You have a key understanding of the concepts that will be used in corporate finance. So you will actually learn to look at the financial statements because before you do the corporate finance analysis, you need to understand what the basic financial statements like the balance sheet, income statement, the cash flow statement contain. So the information that is contained in there, then you're able to do the analysis. Yeah. So acquisition of these skills basically will better equip yourselves to contribute to the company's organization goals. Yeah. So basically, it concentrates on financial essentials that are needed to run a business, which includes raising funds, capital. How do you manage your internal cash management? That means your cash flow and the deployment of the funds to payment of dividends, capital expenditure. That means buying of fixed assets, investments. Okay, that means buying of investment portfolio like bonds and investments, and of course acquisitions. Yeah, you're able to see my screen moving, right?
Yes,
Yes.
it is. It is.
Okay, great. Yeah. So basically, financial decisions are basically very fundamental to the corporate finance activity. Yeah. There are of course different sources of financing that are available to companies. You learn things like what is equity financing, what is debt financing, trade-offs between them. Okay, how do you manage the risk versus the returns? Okay, so we'll discuss the issues like the cost of capital, because when you raise capital, basically whether by way of debt, that means you borrow money from the banks or venture capitalists, or you raise money by the way of issuing of shares, that's ordinary shares, that's how you acquire capital. But the acquisition of capital incurs a cost, yeah. So basically, you need to effectively manage your current assets because it's very vital for your liquidity position and your operational efficiency, so that you ensure that you have sufficient funds to be able to run your operations as needed, and you don't run out of money. Okay, so you will include things like working capital management, cash flow analysis, inventory management, and of course accounts receivable management, which are part and parcel of liquidity management itself. Yeah. Then you identify some functions, benefits, and challenges of the various forms of mergers and acquisitions. So you need to understand, for the purpose of doing mergers and acquisitions, M&A, you will need to understand what are the benefits of both the buyer and the seller, so that you can establish valuation to leverage the bidding techniques itself. Yeah. Now, in terms of the modules that we talked about, we'll look at module one, which covers introduction to corporate finance. So you will study the corporate structure of a business organization, sole proprietorship, partnership, legal entities. Okay, what are the main activities that are involved in corporate finance? Then the structure of the financial markets, because you need to understand where you can get money from. So you look at things like the forex market, the capital market, the primary market, and the secondary markets like the stock exchange. Okay, IPOs and things like that. That's what we covered in module one in introduction of corporate finance. Okay, in module two, you look at financial statements and which is combined actually, module two and three, and analyzing the income statement. So you will look at what are the objectives of financial reporting, the fundamentals of principles of accounting, look at the accounting equations, okay, and do some transaction analysis, understand the basic elements of the income statement. What constitutes the income statement? The income statement basically contains your revenue, expenses, and your net profit or net loss, depending on which is higher. Okay, then we will look at some of the ratios that will be calculated using the information that is contained in the net income, like profit margin, gross profit margin. Okay, all of this stuff which will be covered in detail in module two. In module three, you look at the balance sheet. Yeah, so you understand what is the balance sheet, the uses of the balance sheet. You need to identify the major classifications of the balance sheet, like the assets, liabilities, and then you need to focus on things like the accounting equation, where assets equal liabilities plus shareholders' equity. So you need to understand what is the meaning of an asset, what is the meaning of a fixed asset, what is the meaning of a current asset, what is an intangible asset, what are current liabilities, what are long-term liabilities. Okay, and of course you look at the equity component, which is the capital and retained earnings. Yeah, then use that information that is contained in the balance sheet to do ratio analysis, so that you are able to come up with some conclusions and make informed decisions. If you look at module 4, you basically look at the cash flow statement. The cash flow statement, you will identify the contents of the cash flow statement. What does the cash flow statement tell you? The cash flow statement basically tells you the cash inflows and cash outflows that come into an organization. That means primarily focused on cash. So you need to look at and evaluate the cash flow statement to actually understand it a bit better. So you learn how to prepare a simple cash flow statement. Okay, bearing in mind that the content of the cash flow is similar. Yeah, so You don't have to worry. Only the details will change depending on the organization itself. So you understand what are the key ratios that you may calculate from your cash flow. Look at some trend analysis. How is it moving from this year to the following year? So that's how you look at the cash flow and do the analysis. Yeah. Then if you look at module 5, we will look at sources and forms of financing. What is financing? What are the sources of funding that are available? Okay, then you look at things like equity financing, debt financing, understanding global capital markets itself. Okay, so these are the aspects which are dealing with the funding aspects of a business organization. Yeah. Then module 6, we will look at the cost of capital, the capital structure. Like I mentioned, when you raise capital, whether by way of equity, that is issuing of shares of the company to the common shareholders, or by way of debt, that consists of the capital structure. So you can view the capital structure of any organization in the form of a pie, okay, so that you know what component of the pie is made up of capital, or that is issued to shareholders, and what component is made out of debt. So you need to understand the capital structure. What are the factors that will affect the capital structure? You will study the advantages and disadvantages of the different types of capital structure. Is it more advantageous to raise capital by way of debt, or is it more efficient for us to raise capital by way of equity? Okay, so you need to find the optimal capital structure. So to calculate the optimal structure, you will learn how to calculate the WACC, which stands for weighted average cost of capital. Like I mentioned to you, any money that you raise, whether by way of capital or by way of debt, consists of a cost. So does the cost outweigh the returns that you're going to get from the investment activity that you undertake? Yeah. Then module 7, we will look at the overview of capital budgeting and investment appraisal. You look at what is the capital budgeting process. Then we will study and understand the concept of the time value of money, where it is going to be used. Then you look at a specific model, a CAPM, which talks about the risk that is associated when you raise capital by way of equity. Okay, then you look at some capital budgeting decision techniques. Okay, for example, net present value, payback period, internal rate of return. So all of those details will be covered in module 7. And the last module, module 8, you look at mergers and acquisitions. In brief, in abbreviation, it's M&A. So you'll understand what's the meaning of mergers and acquisitions. Sometimes the terms mergers and acquisitions are used interchangeably. Okay, then you look at how do you finance your merger or acquisition? What is the M&A process itself? What are the steps that are involved in actually undertaking a merger and acquisition process? Okay, what are the key differences between mergers and acquisitions? Like I said earlier to you, sometimes we tend to interchangeably use the word mergers and acquisitions, but they fundamentally do have differences. Yeah, so we will explore those differences and understand them better. Okay. Now, essentially, what are the learning outcomes for you for attending this program? Yeah, so you basically understand the key concepts of corporate finance and the main activities that are involved. Okay, so you'll understand also the objectives of financial management. Management has got a lot of things. Yeah, there's of course finance accounting, which is essentially the recording and bookkeeping of all transactions. Okay, but it also consists other elements like corporate finance, which is covered in this program. Okay, so you will understand what is the structure of the capital market, the primary market, the secondary market. What is the primary market? What is the secondary market? How can I raise money from these various markets that are available? Okay, so you understand the fundamentals of finance and accounting, the structure and purpose of financial statements. Okay, because we will like I said, it is essential that for you to play a role as a corporate finance analyst, you must be able to understand the content of the key financial statements that include the balance sheet, the income statement, okay, and the cash flow statement. So you will identify and explain the components of the financial statement. Okay, recognize the purpose and significance of each financial statement. Okay, then of course do the analysis and interpret the key elements, because that it will be your ultimate role, yeah, to look at the information that is contained in the financial statement, calculate the necessary ratio like the liquidity ratio, the profitability ratio, the efficiency ratio, the operational ratios. All these are calculated using information that is contained in the financial statement. So you apply these financial ratios, like I mentioned, liquidity, profitability, efficiency, to assess the financial health of a company accurately. Okay, so using the current ratio, these are some of the ratios that you use. Your current ratio is obtained from your balance sheet information, where you look at the current assets and divided by your current assets and divided by the current liabilities to see that whether you have sufficient funds to be able to pay your money that is owed to for your suppliers, for example. Quick ratio is just a finer version of the current ratio, okay, and then cash ratio, so that you evaluate the company's liquidity position. Liquidity position is really one aspect of it. Yeah, you need to look at the profitability, you need to look at the efficiency ratios itself. Okay, so you evaluate solvency, the solvency ratio, you calculate debt ratio. That means to see what is the level of debt to equity, for example. Okay, how much of my capital structure consists of debt? How much of my capital structure consists of equity? Am I a very highly geared company? Is my debt too high? Will companies will be willing to lend money to me because my ratio shows that my gearing is very high? Okay, these are some of the things that you tend to look at. Okay, so you basically assess, of course, the operational efficiency. For example, inventory turnover. How fast is my inventory turning over into sales? Am I keeping the inventory for too many days? What should be my optimal inventory turnover ratio? What should be my receivable turnover ratio? Okay, how long do I before my customers pay me? Okay, am I aging my receivables to find out whether they're 30 days old, 60 days old, 120 days old? What should be my optimum, so that I have sufficient funds to manage my own liquidity as a business? Okay, and similarly, there are other ratios, like I said, that are obtained. Some of the ratios blend into two or more financial statements. As we do the individual modules, we'll understand which they are. Okay, so you manage your current assets, your inventory, you analyze your investment and financing decisions because you study capital budgeting. So you look at how do I decide on which type of investment. If I have a choice between two investment opportunities, investment A, investment B, what are the techniques that I will use to assess the investment to see how much returns am I getting the investment? So that's where you learn things like the net present value, the internal rate of return, and of course a very simple method called a payback period. Yeah, so you evaluate these financing decisions by considering optimal capital structure and the impact of the cost of capital. Okay, so you learn how to calculate the weighted average cost of capital, because capital also incurs a cost. That is the amount of dividends that you pay your shareholders. Okay, so you'll explain under capital budgeting, you'll decide on and explain how investment decisions are made. So you learn how to do, like I said, NPV, IRR, payback to evaluate investment projects. Yeah. So you look at what is the meaning of mergers and acquisitions and M&A. What are the various types of mergers that exist? Okay, what's the difference between an organic merger? What's the difference between a chemical merger? Okay, shows the ways of capturing the value drivers through mergers and acquisition. Okay, having understood the various modules and the content that will be covered, what does the corporate finance analyst do? Actually, the corporate finance analyst works within the finance organization. His key role, or her key role, is to support the management decision, yeah, by providing actionable financial information like the calculation of the ratios. You arrive at them, they monitor the financial statement, the expenses, the taxes, and other financial details. Okay, so that you can look at it. So if you look at it from a functional standpoint, yeah, what do you do if you play the role of the financial analyst? Okay, first and foremost, you have to collect all the information and data that is available. Okay, so your first source of information is, of course, the financial statements that we talked about: balance sheet, P&L, cash flow statement, maybe sources of changes in equity. Then you organize that information in a structured manner. Okay, then of course you make projections and forecasts. Okay, you build the financial models, and then when you build financial models, there are a lot of tools that are available today in the market that you can use to build your financial model. The most important aspect of the role of the financial analysis is the collection of the data. Okay, then you analyze the financial results and you provide recommendations to your top management so that they can make the decisions that they want to make. Okay, so basically, you that kind of the decision making process is assisted, of course, in the form of charts and graphs that you may create. Okay, so that's basically your essential role of why you need to understand this module and what role you play as a corporate finance analyst. What are the skill sets that you require? Of course, you need to understand what is accounting. You need to have financial literacy skills. You need to be able to do analysis. Okay, so you need to have some financial modeling skills, and I told you you'll be assisted by PC based solutions, for example. Of course, one of the key things that you need to have is to be having interpersonal and communication skills so that you can communicate whatever information that you have collected and make recommendations that are suitable to your top management. Yeah? Okay, then you need to look at how to solve some problems that you may face in the process itself. And of course, technical knowledge, something that you need to acquire, and you acquire the technical knowledge by actually attending these modules that we specified. Okay, and you of course need to play a leadership and management role. Okay, that's in essence basically what we will cover in this CCFA module. Okay, so that you can understand how you play the role of the corporate financial analyst. So I've reached the end of my orientation session. So if you have any specific questions, I can provide answers. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, sorry for the minor interruption earlier.
So any questions so far from anyone else?
Can I ask question about the course in general, about one milestone project? So the milestone project, is it you're going to give a company, or we have to select a company and then do the milestone project?
Actually, the project work having some cases. So for some cases, we are giving some data, and for some cases, some questions, you may use any hypothetical data or select any company's data.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. Any other question from anyone?
Excuse me. Today class lecture you support or you give us
Sorry again?
class lecture of today.
Yes.
Will you give us?
Yeah, you will get it. You will get it. The video link will be shared.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, the material will be provided immediately. I mean, within 1 to 2 days time after the class.
And another
Any other
question, the quizzes that are going to be held, they are for how many minutes, or what, multiple choice, how many minutes?
How many minutes of?
Money, if there's surprise quizzes, you said.
No, not is a surprise quiz. This is a module-wise quiz. So module-wise quiz, it's around say 20 minutes time, 10 questions, and it will be a window period for a week. So anytime you can attend the quiz.
Okay, I now get it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, the video recording will also share after this class. Actually, as I told in my presentation, that you will get a couple of, takeaway. So number one is a very good learning sessions with some expert resources, with some analytical part. So that is number one. Number two is you will be having plenty of practices during the course. So you need to solve 9 cases. It's very, what can I say? It's very important for transferring the skills. So it is not knowledge based only. It is a skill based, competency based program. That means you will be equipped how to transfer. So this transferring will be applicable by using this case based analysis. Then, so case is module wise, right? So it is a very silo basis. And then we are combining couple of modules for one assignment. So there will be different assignment tasks. Assignment is also application focused, so that you will be learning how to combine couple of things to do this assignment. And finally, once you will get the capstone project, that will be an entire organizational perspective. So covering all these aspects of an organization, you will be learning how you can analyze those. And the course title is called Analyst. The analyst, uh, they should be more capable than the people who are preparing it. So in this course, not that you will be only learning how to prepare. Rather, we have less focus on that. Rather, we will be focusing on how you can analyze this. So analyzing means data presentation, data interpretation. So that is also important. Our resource person or co-learner will share, or even you will be, exploring how you can interpret this data. What are the alternate solution for this? Like, for example, analytics having 4 types of analytics, right? One is, descriptive. That means what it is. Another is diagnostic. That means why it is. Another is uh, predictive. If it is continuing, then what will happen? And fourth one is prescriptive. So if you can have 4 types of analytical data and the presentation, including in a report, that report works well. So you will be learning, say the statistical part, everybody knows. This is current ratio 1:1, this is that, etc., etc. Now you can, the question comes, is it good or bad? If it is bad, why it is bad? Why part? Diagnosis. So, in which scenario this ratio will go better or will go worse? You can identify those factors. Then once you found this, then you can go for, a solution. So before solution, you can tell the corporate or the CEO that, look, if the situation continues, after 1 year, your cash flow will be very much unmanageable. After 1 year, your debt ratio will be very, very, less, so that you cannot cover the debts. So this type of consequence you can predict, and then you can suggest the solution. So that is the focus of this type of analytical course. All right.
Sir, another question from chat box.
Yes. Yeah, I'm checking. I'm checking. On this yes, you can use this designation CCFA beside your name, and designation differs from CFN. Actually, CFA is a separate course. CCFA is separate course. The institute is different. The curriculum is different. So it is not anything like any relationship or any. There is no comparison. That is one thing. That is another thing. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. So any other question from anyone? Okay. If there is no other question, we can close. The class will be starting. The first class will be on 3rd of August. So first class will be on 3rd of August. Onwards, the schedule will be shared. And that is a very, very, good course. And you will be equipped with all these things. As I told you, that there will be 90 guided question answer you will be receiving. Let me share one option for you, so that you can understand how it looks like for every module. At the end of at the end of the course, we'll be sharing a workbook where all these things are there in detail. So all the examples, or even, so this is an example. So practical example of income statement analysis. So how this analysis can be done. So this type of workbook we will be sharing at the end of the entire course, which covers all these competencies, objectives, and guided question answer. That is really a very good, takeaway for future references. You may have a lot of books on corporate finance or financial analysis, but combining, filtering those books, extracting very important areas, combining together, maybe 200 pages, 300 pages, one one workbook for CCFA alumni that is highly relevant with this course material and then the course curriculum, which will be very, very helpful for a ready reference for your corporate world. Okay, so never miss this opportunity. The class will be starting from 3rd of August. Yeah, timetable you will receive before 1st of August. I mean 2 to 3 days before you will get the timetable. Usually on I mean around 8 weeks there will be classes. So you will get the timesheets in course of time. Okay, and the pre-course material will be available by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So you can work on this pre-course assignment and hope to see you on another day with any other course. Thank you, Mr. Resource Person, for your wonderful time and clarification.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, please, Shahid.
There's no concept of risk, touch on risk associated with corporate finance or anything like that in this course?
Risk associated, risk related.
With corporate finance?
Shall I address that, Rupak?
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah, okay. So one of the modules that you learned is when you do capital budgeting, one of the model, yeah, that means the model that you'll use is called CAPM. Under CAPM, you actually measure the risk in relation to when you raise capital by way of equity. So risk assessment is taken into account when you do this module itself.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the clarification.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir,
Right.
for the input. Okay, so thank you once again for all the delegates, those who have spared their valuable time for us. And we are
So
really,
the
really
class
helpful.
will be on 3rd August?
3rd August. First class will
Okay.
be on 3rd August. So thanks all for joining us. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time for us.
No problem.
And
Thank you,
of
Rupak.
course, thanks World Academy team for organizing this. Take care
All
and
right.
good night from my side.
Right.